We're smooth 98.1 FM. Good morning and welcome to Business Express. I've been joined right away now by our special guest, Samson Owolabi is our guest this morning, and he's of Zedcrest, Associate Research and Portfolio Management, Zedcrest Wealth and Business. Let's say welcome to you. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me.
For starters, it's a Tuesday, the most productive day. When you work, you need to check your account and see how it's balancing out. So, how does this come across to you? Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, reclaims the top spot. He's been away from there for a while now. So, just how does this come across? How does it add to the price of crude oil for Nigeria?
Well, it actually doesn't really like that, but what I would just say is that, is a good one. One of the major reasons why he lost that spot before was because of the devaluation of Naira and some, maybe some other business challenges then, but he has been able to step back again. And also when you realize the fact that the share price of Dangote Cement has gone up significantly high recently. So all these factors with the start of operations at the Dangote refinery are also contributing factors to this move. But it's a good one actually.
His zeros are adding up very well, and it looks like a point where I might be recommending you to my uncle. Yeah, my adopted uncle anyway, Dangote. But let's get into
Oh,
things.
that I would really, really appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
Let's come into the conversation this morning. And today's conversation centered around the bank recapitalization in Nigeria. How high can it go? And this comes across in November when the CBN governor, Cardoso, had attended the dinner back then with his bow tie. And then he broke the news. See, look, guys, I think we need to recapitalize to reflect this economy properly. So that's where it's coming from. But I'd like to know, what is the point of this capitalization of a bank?
Mm. Okay, so the bank recapitalization is a very, very important and cogent issue. And because the major point of it is just to like enable banks to be able to meet financial needs, to be able to meet financial obligations, and also absorb some unexpected losses. And also it puts this kind of confidence in a particular bank. For example, now you said you want to like recommend me for your adopted uncle Dangote. There's a reason why you just mentioned Dangote and why you just why it's not just anybody. And when you hear Dangote, you hear money, you hear business ideas, you hear big, you hear refinery, you hear cement, you hear a lot of things. So, and let me just relate it to banks like that. When you want to like place money in a bank, you want to be sure of where you're placing it in. You want to be sure that even if anything happens today, maybe they experience a particular financial shock or a particular financial issue, you want to be sure that that place that your money is in is secure and you are confident that nothing is going to happen to it. And you're also sure that whatever you tell them to use that money to do, they will do it and they will always make good returns on the investment. So these are the major reasons why bank capitalizations are very, very important. And also, let me just use another analogy again. If I have 10 people around me and I know that one is like a millionaire that has a business that is running functionally, and I have another person that is a gambler that is having financial issues every day. If I have like a business idea, I won't go to the gambler. I will always want to go to the one that's has a track record of being able to like turn over money and use it to make good returns. So all these factors are the major reasons why capitalization is important. You want to be sure that the capital base of that bank can absorb any kind of financial issue, and is also showing that that particular bank has had this track record of excellence over time.
So this in itself will lead us to the question of what is wrong with the present capitalization base of the banks in the country? Why do banks need to recapitalize?
Okay, so well, there are several reasons to for that, and one thing you also have to notice that you have to understand the fact that times are changing, things are moving every day. Naira has devalued significantly from last year to this year, and also when you look at the fact that more people are coming into the banking system, there's expansion every day. So you have to review everything that you're doing every time. Even we analysts, we tend to like review our models every single time just to be sure of what we have in our books. So the recapitalization is something that we need to do. Yeah, banks are looking strong right now. They are, their capital base is very, very strong, but we still need to like look at the fact that we need to do several checks, also make them stronger, and also filter out the ones that might be that might be not be standing strong. For example, when you look at the banking crisis that happened last year, when you look at what happened there, you can see that some banks were able to absorb the shock while others couldn't. So all these things are the major reasons why the CBN is trying to like do that recapitalization. I think it's a good one. It's just going to like give investors more confidence in their banks.
Now the focus would seem here to be Nigeria's GDP reaching 1 trillion US dollars by 2030. But is this really possible?
Well, that's quite bullish. It's very, very bullish. Very, very bullish. Well, it's not something that is impossible, but it's something that will take time. And I don't think that within the space of we can do that within the space of 6 years. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Because number one, when you look at it, look at our GDP over time. It's not as if maybe we have done significantly big over time like that. We've just been managing, trying to survive, and we've had a lot of ups and downs over time. When you look at it, 2022 GDP was around 472.62 billion US dollars. Excuse me. And when you look at 2021 GDP, that was around like 440.8 billion US dollars. 2020, that was like 432.19 billion US dollars. 2019 was 474.51 billion US dollars. So when you look at all those figures, you realize that we've not really even reached like the 500 billion mark recently. And also when you look at the fact that what we've been producing over time has not really been significantly like expanding like that. So it's a major one that we need to look at. Assuming we have our exports more than our imports, and we also have this service oriented country that we can have not just provide goods only, but services. We have expertise in the particular area that we are earning significant income from it. No, it's going to be a good one, but Nigeria is suffering from a lot of like brain drain, and we have a lot of experts leaving the country trying to like search for just find a good and a better place. All those things are still going to affect. So it's really affecting productivity. I do not expect us or see us getting to that point by 2030. But maybe if something big, or we have a very big cogent move, we can get there.
All right, I just would get to the listener, and that's how we call them the clients on the show this morning to let them know. We'd like to know what their thoughts would be on 0809 444 0981. And this is all about the bank recapitalization in Nigeria. How high can it go is what it's all about. And our guide this morning is Samson Owolabi, Associate Research and Portfolio Management, Zedcrest Wealth. So I get back to you. There are two issues stemming from the last your submission you made just a while ago. And so issues of the last time we checked, the Nigeria's economy was rebased at some point, and it was said then that was in the Jonathan era. And then link that up to this next question of calculating the capital levels of banks in dollars versus the last recapitalization exercise. A reasonable move, would you say?
Yeah, it is actually it's a reasonable one because when you look at it in the capital markets, in the global capital market, over 85% of transactions that are being done in the market, they are being done in the US dollars. That's the currency that they used to like trade. So you want to and apart from that, also, when you look at the fact that most of the countries that we trade with, US has always been in the top 10, if not top 5 over the years. So you have to consider the fact that US dollars, we have let's say a particular leverage, or no, not really leverage. We just have like a factor. We have a link with that particular currency. So it's something that we need to like look into and also be able to have this kind of comparison. For example, the Nigerian equities market, we did it significantly well last year, 45.9% year-to-date return. But when you convert it to dollars, you realize that we made a loss, and investors will have made a loss like 27% or so. So that particular factor is a major one. It's something that is very, very important that we need to look at. So that's look comparing the bank's capitalization in dollars is very important, because also the last time they did that capitalization, they also used they also used the dollar equivalent in terms of calculating that capitalization. So it's something that we need to do.
So as we head into the home stretch of this conversation on Business Express, it will be rapid fire double. It will be portfolio doubles for you now. How high do you think the new capital requirements could go? And banks are also supposed to give out loans, but we have a high interest rate environment. Will that come down anytime soon, knowing that the MPC is coming up in February?
Okay, so well, for the first question, the capitalization, how high can it go? Well, it depends on the policy that the CBN is making. So it depends on the metrics that they are using. Maybe they want to use this according to GDP, or they just want to set a particular number, or they want to use the dollar to calculate it. Those are the major things that might try to use. But on the second question, rates are not going to go down. I'm not sure that they will go down anytime soon. We still have inflation skyrocketing. As of December, it was 28.92%. And when you look at that percentage, significantly high. Food inflation is at all-time high. So I do not expect the CBN to say that they want to drop rates anytime soon. We still have inflation burgeoning. So that is one factor that we need to look at. But for interest rates for loans and the likes, it's just EPT one, because in as much as rates are high, investors are trying to get higher returns on their investments, and also people that are borrowing also want something that is not too strenuous on them. So it's just about balancing that factor, something that is unavoidable. But rates are not going down anytime soon from my projection.
All right, we expect to read your message in a short while now. 0809 444 0981 is still Business Express. And final stretch, let's get this one in. What do you make of the latest round of cash custody in the country? And we've seen in the country, and do you see fintechs as competition or complements to banks?
Okay, so on the first question, cash scarcity, I think it's still like a major worry. It's not something that a country like Nigeria should be facing right now. Like, yeah, fine. The last time we had this cash crunch around like Q1 2023 and late December 2022, the CBN came around and they were like, they want to mop out all the illegal cash in the system. That was a major concern about it. And then we saw that that policy was just like, more of like a footer one, because in as much as they did everything they could, we are still back to square one right now. And right now, even the CBN is not really saying much, or they are not being explicit about this current situation. So to me, it's a very bad one. Some people are speculating that maybe it's because of high cost of producing the currency. And some people might be like, oh, maybe the CBN is trying to find a way to limit cash in circulation. We have a large part of it in circulation, by the way. So for me, I do not really see that as something that is going to be a solution if they want to use it to mop out illegal money in the system. But it's still a major issue. It's a serious one. It's really something that we really need to work on it. As much as we're trying to do cashless policy, we still need to work on it. Now,
So, yeah, go ahead. And
yeah, on your second
fintechs.
question, fintechs, yeah, thank you. Your second question on fintechs, well, they're not competitors with bank. I believe that they are even they are like cohabitants, they are like friends, they are like co-business partners, because what they do, banks can work with fintechs to make transactions, to make a lot of business opportunities come to life. So they are not competitors, they can work together with each other.
Your tray is almost empty, but you can't talk about fintech without having a stab at internet penetration and connectivity. So, how can financial inclusion in Nigeria improve without internet connectivity? In summary,
Well, financial inclusion can still go ahead with it's something that we really need internet connectivity, because for one, even we have seen a lot of phones being produced right now, and those phones are they can be easily used by even the average Nigerian with the lowest education, and also it's not that complicated. Again, people can easily relate to it based on the fact that you have children, you have a lot of little ones going around with those phones. So And anytime there's a phone, phones are bigger than laptops these days. A lot of things that phones can do, that laptops cannot really do it. And because of the flexibility of phones. So what I would just say is that we really need to make internet connectivity happen. Go to some countries, you see a Wi-Fi in every major areas of the country, every major areas in the city. It's something that Nigeria should implement also. Once we have something like this, people can easily log on the internet, open a bank account easily, do transactions easily, even without having to use cash. Something that is going to be a good one for the country.
All right, this is where we wrap up the conversation, but let's go over to what the messages look like this morning. Tayo comes up with messages reading saying, Dangote claiming his top sport, a top sport back, and there is me claiming the sport of top client on Smooth FM. Business Express. It's not easy, but we did it, gentlemen. A
No,
win is a win.
it's actually a good one, man. You need to really applaud the person actually,
Yes, okay, yeah, we're gonna upload you now. So then goes on again. He says, don't be surprised if banks and other financial institutions quickly capitalize their position because some of them are already ahead of the curve. That's what he had to say on that issue. And then our final message will come in here with a message from Gilbert Musa from Fastac. On the bank's proposed recapitalization, let us cast our minds back to 2004 when the 25 billion naira recapitalization was announced by the CBN. The question is, in the long run, has it benefited the SMEs in Nigeria? Gilbert Musa doubts, though it is laudable idea, the SMEs should benefit significantly from this scheme. And that's a wrap on the show this morning. We want to say thank you to Samson Owolabi, Associate Research and Portfolio Management, Zedcrest Wealth. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me.
And it's a wrap on the show this morning, Business Express. My name is